everybody, I'm Katie Arroyo.
And I'm Laura Manasowicz.
And this is Pinky Promise.
I knew it. In my head, I was like, they're both going to say it together.
You caught us.
Sorry, we're adorable. Pete.
Yeah, it's a whole thing that we do.
I was having a bet with myself. I was like, will they harmonize it? I'm like, yeah, they will.
Yeah, that's what we do. We couldn't make it into the barbershop quartet, so we just do a podcast duo.
Well, I just imagine you guys in like a late 80s, early 90s, wearing those bright neon jackets that you have in your poster, just saying that and coming back from commercial.
We would if we could, you know? Maybe we should get some jackets.
Do you know a designer?
Does anyone listening know a designer that could get us some matching neon jackets? I would pay handsomely for them.
Yeah, Salvation Army.
Yeah.
Hot commodities, not as easy to find as you think.
It's coming back.
Yeah. So we have a very special guest this week, you guys. One of our dear friends and hilarious comedian and super strong guy. Would you say professional strongman yet?
No. God, no.
We have comedian and amateur strongman, just regular old strongman.
Just average strongman.
Pete Angelo. Hey, Pete.
Yay.
Yeah.
Hi,
Yay.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thanks for being here.
You sound like you're in detention, but you understand why.
No, I shouldn't have pushed him.
He's like,
I shouldn't have written.
Yeah, I shouldn't have friended you guys, but here we are. And now I'm on this fucking
They
podcast.
made me do it. They didn't mean to. It wasn't me. I was just holding it.
I would say Pete's probably the strongest comedian I know.
I think that's right.
So I'm going for right now. It's strongest comedian in Connecticut, and then I moved to New England, and then nation.
There you go.
And that way I never have to be either the funniest or strongest. I just have to be like both.
Yeah.
Hold that title.
You could be like the funniest strongman.
Yeah. It's like I'm funnier than all the other strongmen, and I might not be the strongest, but I'm the funniest.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I might not be the funniest comic, but I'm the strongest.
Perfect.
By a long shot. I don't feel like a lot of comics are known for their physical strength.
No, that's true.
Or their mental strength either.
Well,
or emotional.
Yeah.
All around weaklings. So we have Pete on to talk about probably like one of my favorite topics, which is we're basically going to talk all about Pete losing his virginity and just I love hearing about awkward teen makeouts and crushes and all of that. Probably the most awkward part of growing up, I would say.
Sure.
Absolutely. I mean, just like I feel like everyone's like late teen years is just a constant like, what am I?
Yeah.
And then especially being closeted too, even more so.
Yeah.
And like, especially in a small town. And I didn't, because there were like, that's the thing too, is like there were gay kids in my high school, but there's like no hiding it.
Yeah.
They were like, just, we get it. There's a rainbow trail that follows them. Like,
yeah.
they know their lot in life. And I was just like, oh, I still want to play sports and do all that shit. And like, but that guy's kind of cute.
I was just gonna say, so when you were in high school then, because I know some people, I think it happens with women a lot, is they kind of like don't even realize it. They realize like, I'm not as attracted to men as I'm supposed to be, like quote unquote supposed to be, but they don't like fully realize it until their college years or so.
Yeah.
So like, did you feel like you were aware that you were closeted?
I was like aware, but at the same time, I feel like I felt so weird about it. I was like, I'm going through high school completely asexual.
Just eliminate like our sound problem. Like we didn't fix it. We just pushed right past it.
We ran away from it. Crisis averted.
I was like, this is the way around it. Because either I was almost had that worry. I was like, because I might end. Because of like being into the sports and being around the mentality. I was like, if I keep it in the forefront of my brain, I'm gonna go the complete opposite way and become like a piece of shit homophobe
Yeah.
to deal with the problem. So I'm like, fuck it, I don't want to have sex with anyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I got out of high school and I was like, all right, now I'm gonna try to have sex with a lot of people.
Sure.
You got to make up for those lost years.
Yeah, like
I think about that because my ex-wife is like, pretty, like, I don't think she presented, like, stereotypically butch in high school, but it was like no one was surprised after. You know what I mean?
Did you go to high school with
we
with
went
her?
at the same time, but our school was so huge that, and we were like, she was a little bit older than me, so we were in school for like a short, maybe like 1 year together, and we were, the school was so huge that there were hundreds of people that I didn't know. So like,
my school was tiny.
yeah, so it was like, we completely like missed each other, and even though like we played the same sport, but I like stopped playing the sport, and I would have been in like JV, and she was like the star of the varsity team.
Oh, what a romance that
I
would have been when it started.
And I was like, I suck. Like,
what was the sport?
It was lacrosse. I played field hockey. I like stopped playing lacrosse in the spring and only played field hockey. But
my sister played field hockey, and like watching it was the most painful shit.
It's pretty bad
because they blow the whistle every 10 fucking seconds.
They do. My friend's dad, when we were in high school, took us to SU to watch the college team play, and he literally goes, "I'm taking you bitches here so you can see what this sport is supposed to look like."
Oh my God.
We were dying. I go, you got to keep watching us. Like, I don't know what to tell you. But I think about that because I wonder, I mean, it's got to be hard both ways. It's probably harder if you can't hide it. I don't know.
But at the same time,
then you always have to come out.
I have a theory. And so in the 90s, I feel like gays and queer people started to kind of get that acceptance. You started to see them in TV and film, but it was always the same person.
Yes.
Like it was like I remember like my mom watched Will and Grace constantly.
Yeah.
So like, but it was every type of like iteration of a queer person in any media in like the late 90s, early 2000s was like the super flamboyant quippy.
Yeah.
But that's what it was accepted. So I feel like a lot of gay guys like maybe grew up sawing that and be like, oh, that's accepted.
Yeah.
So I guess I gotta dial this shit up to 11.
Yeah.
And then this whole like it helped like spawn this kind of whole culture of it. And then I'm left standing there like, I'm not good at that.
And I feel like Sex in the City too, like women were like, I think gay men were like, well, I gotta have a straight woman best friend, and straight women were like, I gotta find my gay, like my flamboyant gay. I need one.
And I would say if you are listening to this episode, I think for the full effect, watch it on YouTube and get a visual of Pete and see if maybe that doesn't better shape your understanding of this conversation.
If you would like a description.
No, we're trying to get the YouTube followers.
Yeah.
Fine, all right, go look.
I'm kidding.
I'm 5'4" and I weigh 100
little guy,
pounds.
really little guy.
You can tell by this deep, deep voice. It's just a tiny little guy.
I swear to God, you know how many podcasts I've been on that at some point the way I look is then described? Like every podcast I go on, someone has to describe what I look like because it conflicts with everything like that I'm talking about.
That is. So when so you were you decided to be asexual in high school, but did you have any romance, like anything that happened throughout high school?
In high school, it was just, I remember like there was an upperclassman that I was like sort of into, and we worked at the same place.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember we'd message on MySpace
a
bit, but nothing ever came to be until like we didn't do anything until I kind of after I was out of high school already.
Okay.
But it was always like, it was just always one of those situations where I always like saw, everyone, coupling up and meeting up
Yeah.
and like that. And I was just like, I always felt like such a side character, even in my own life.
Oh,
Mhm.
yes.
Like, I'm just a goon. Like,
I'm the big third wheel.
yeah. Like constantly. I was like, but so I didn't start really pursuing anything until like probably college age. But I also didn't come out about it either. So I
Yeah.
still was like living this like weird double life from the age of like 18 to 22 or
Mhm.
23, whatever the fuck old I was.
Yeah.
Did you go to college near home, or did you go far enough away that you could be like, I'm gonna do my own thing now?
Neither.
Neither.
I went to college for a week.
Okay.
He was like, I
And then I
said
went-
college age.
Sure. Sorry, that's my bad. That's my bad.
No, I thought the same thing. I was like, wait, did he go to college or did he just tell us he was college age?
College age is I went for like a week, and then I did like community college a bit.
Okay.
But like, so it would still like be my parents. I would just go out at night.
I was
and
gonna
I'd
say,
go
so
to
you're just
parties or
still
whatever.
home. Yeah.
Still home and just like living this like weird double life. Except the only person who knew was my brother, but that's because he got a hold of my laptop a couple times.
What?
That I couldn't have before I could delete the
Then he
browser
messages.
histories.
Yeah.
It was it was a different time. We didn't
when I-
understand.
We didn't
when I-
understand cookies.
Pretty much. Like, it's like, I remember when I came out, my parents were like, oh, I mean, they're like, I remember a lot of like, everyone sees their stories about coming out and their parents being like, yeah, we knew. It's like, my parents were like, we just thought you were awkward.
Really?
It is like, they were just like, we just thought you didn't like they didn't immediately jump to like, he's obviously having sex with men.
They were just
But,
like,
like-
we know he's not
But
having sex
my
with
brother
women.
was like, I knew the whole fucking time.
Really?
When you were in high school, did you do like prom with a girl? Did you like do the
I
fake
did.
it till you make it stuff?
I definitely did that a bit. I did go to prom with a girl. She is now a lesbian.
Okay.
You found each other. You found
was
a
like-
beard.
I was a joker. I was like, who turned who gay? Like, I don't even
Yeah.
know. But it was like she was a friend of mine, and she was going with someone. I like legit. It was my senior year, and I really didn't have that much interest in going to prom. Shocker, I know. And like literally, like someone's like, you should probably go. It should be fun. I'm like, all right. So I didn't. That's the other thing too about like I was so like I didn't. Every gay guy, like you said, had like just a ton of female friends.
Yeah.
I still didn't. I also like most of like even now most of my female friends are from comedy.
Yeah.
Right.
But like so I didn't have that maybe I don't know maybe because I didn't give off that gay vibe enough where they're like we're safe. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I asked my friend if I was like, hey, I guess I'm thinking about going to prom. Would you go with me? And she was like, she was set to go with someone else. And she was like, if something happens, I'll go with you. And like 2 weeks before prom, she was like, we got into a fight and
Wow.
do you want to go with me now? And I was like, yeah, I guess. Can you get two friends? I was like, can you get two of your friends to go with two of my friends?
You're a
need
little
two of my friends.
matchmaker. Yeah.
I had to
Just
get two of
wheeling
my
and
friends.
dealing.
I was like, I didn't know how I pulled this off. Like, you guys owe me.
Yeah.
This is way more work than I wanted to
You're like,
do.
I don't even want to go.
It's funny too is as it sort of relates. So I went to my 10-year high school reunion about sort of been 2 years ago or 3 years. I don't know how old. 28. So 3 years ago. Whatever.
Yeah.
Math. Fuck. And I brought my boyfriend, and we're standing next to each other and we're talking. And I'm standing kind of close to him. Music's playing, and he's talking. And one of the guys at the high school with like looks at us, and he goes, "What are you two banging?"
And you're like, yeah.
And
we
I was
are.
like, "Yeah." I was like, "This is my boyfriend." He's like, "What? Wait a second." He's like, so like one, he's floored. He started like bring people in because he can't fucking believe this.
No wonder you stayed closeted. It's like 10 years later.
But the craziest, so then what makes me laugh about it is for the rest of the night, he would not stop asking me why I never hit on him in high school.
Oh. Wow.
I think this for a number of reasons. And one is like, you didn't know this person well enough that he knew this about you. And so his lead off joke was you guys banging. Like,
well, because he can't literally, his mind can't handle two men being near each other in a physical space. So
I don't know if it's that or if it's just because he thought like, maybe because
he probably thought he was making a funny joke.
Like, Pete's so straight looking. There's no way this could be true.
Yeah, maybe. I like that. No matter what, many men are still like cannot handle that someone doesn't want to fuck them.
Oh my god, it's crazy. And I was just like, he was like genuinely upset about it.
Of course, he was like, I was so hot. I want that confidence.
I was like, you weren't attractive then, and you're still not. He's like, well, I know what was wrong with me. I don't know.
Oh my god, so desperate.
A lot of things.
He's like, no, really, like, is it the way I dress? Like, what? Just tell me what.
Like, you want past tense or present? Some of the issues overlap.
He's like, I was like, it's like maybe he's like super in the closet.
That's
like,
what I was wondering.
Like,
yeah. He's like, how tight are you with this boyfriend? Like,
So if someone had questions, is there an email or?
How do I get on the calling
like my
list?
friend just wants to know like where the meetings are. Like just that my friend was asking.
Yeah.
I like last night had a guy from high school who was in like a bro-ish type of group of guy friends. And he just like came out, I think officially on Facebook as being in a relationship with this other guy I know who is like super smoking hot and flamboyant. And I was like, it was like 11:30 at night and I was flipping through Facebook and my boyfriend goes, I go, oh my God, fuck yes. And he goes, what? And I go, you're literally not gonna care. And I go, this guy that you've never met just came out and he's like dating this guy. And I go, that's so great. And like I was looking for the bro buddies and they were like loving the status. And like one of them was like, I'm in one of the pictures, so I count as being in this relationship. And I was just like, this is so great. And Josh was like, just so you know, like, I'm probably never going to come out as gay. I'm always going to be straight. Are you okay with that? You're like a little too excited. But it is like, I love seeing who's come. I feel bad that some people are only just now coming out, but it's still cool to see. And I'm waiting on a few others.
I'm always still like holding out. Like, I want to like hear about like the people I knew growing up, and I want to hear about like the surprise, like, coming out, and then I'm just like, it was me.
Calls coming from inside the house.
Damn
I was like, my town is so small. There's only so many.
Yeah, statistically.
Fuck, it was me. Everyone else. I was like, I can't imagine who would be a bigger surprise.
So then when you were growing up, were people like pressuring you to like try to get in relationships with women? Like, did they care that you weren't dating anyone?
That's the thing too, is like, no.
Wow.
But like, no one was like, oh, we never see people like people with anyone or something like that. There was never that. Again, I don't know if that was just because of my size or like, like I don't know. But yeah, that obviously like that does exist in like some extent. People obviously calling, saying someone was gay was like the biggest insult in the world, but like it wasn't like enough past the normal amount that had happened to really like stick in my head. Yeah. To be like, oh, I remember this specific incident when they tied me to a flagpole and called me gay, and like, or
we're just like repeatedly like, even if they had good intentions,
like, oh, you should go with her. Like, really, I never. There was never like there was never any of that. No one ever tried to like set me up with anyone, which I know I should feel insulted.
I know. I don't think that happened as much as we were led to believe, because I think most of us were all like trying to handle our own shit and weren't able to think outside of ourselves enough to like set our friends up.
Yeah.
That's true. It did happen to me once after I came out, or I'd been out already. Like one of my friends, like, you should meet this friend of mine. I was like, why? Like, because they're like guys. I'm like,
well, that's kind of
That's
sweet.
the whole fucking
That's
pitch.
what they have. That's what they've got to work off of.
I was like, thanks. You're like a shittier version of Grindr.
You guys are all the same, right? Like everyone just likes this.
Interchangeable.
It's like the same thing.
Like Pokemon cards.
I did have one friend. I noticed the friends who loved to set people up were the ones that were in like long-term relationships throughout high school, because they were like, I'm good. So like my one friend was matchmaking all the time, and she like matchmaked some bad ones, and we were like, dude, you need to chill. Like you brought this monster into this person's life. I was like, she wasn't even into him, and now look at him.
Was she like pulling from people like locally, or was she like, I know this kid from this other school?
It would just be like, and this was all through, like, she was always a long-term relationship person. So like from the time we were in high school, it was always like, and it was so well intentioned, but it would just be like her brother's like buddies, because then like she had all these girlfriends and he had all these guy friends. So she was always just like, let's fucking match this all up and be like one big family. And so it was always like trying to be like, what about this person? What about this person? And then as we got older, it was like, they weren't in school, but it would be like, who's buddies with her boyfriend? She'd be like, you should date like this guy or whatever. And it was like so well intentioned, but some of them I was like, ooh, you just caused a lot of problems.
And then this is it's like the Saved by the Bell syndrome. It's like we gotta be this group, and like we gotta pull other people in, and like everything. It's amazing how often like you're like, oh, this just feels like a television show that someone's trying to recreate in real life.
And it's just so that you have fun at the barbecue. Like,
yeah. But too is like none of my like guy friends were ever like, because all my friends with like a bunch of guys, but we weren't like super popular, but we weren't complete fucking losers.
Yeah.
We were just like those guys. Like we were like, so no one was in like relationships long enough, I feel like, that happened, because I feel like everyone, maybe I don't know if it was by the time I got into high school, everyone realized that, okay, we're going to college and this stuff, and like high school isn't the end all be all for like relationships and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it started, which I think like years before that people kind of thought they were more so.
Yeah,
I mean, there were some that were like, we're gonna be together, like they were together like all 4 years of high school, and like, but I think I can only think of like 2 couples that I knew from high school that are actually still together. Because for the most part, it seems like everyone meets the person they end up with like well after.
Yeah.
And I think maybe people were conscious of that, or my friends were fucking idiots. I don't know. They just didn't have girlfriends that much.
So when you started trying to explore meeting men, did you like online wasn't a thing, right? At that point? Not
really. Not yet anyways. Like I said, like MySpace, like a little bit. Because when look up when Grindr was.
Yeah,
created.
right.
Because it's funny, I was talking to my friend who's like 23, 24, and I was like, wait a second, so like your entire adult life Grindr has been a thing.
Isn't that crazy?
So it goes to the losing virginity thing. I hooked up with this girl that I knew. So I was just after my senior year, I think. And then one of my closest friends, he was going into his senior year. He wasn't a senior. I can't remember the time exactly. So I knew we both kind of liked the same girl. At least we think we did.
Yeah.
And we both ended up hooking up with her. I think him first and me. And we're hanging out and we were talking about it. And then we just started fucking each other.
Stop it!
So good.
Like I thought that's where the story was going, but I thought there would be like some pit stops on the way.
Not really. We like talked about it. It was cool.
So
And then it was just like watching porn, and then I guess we don't need women.
You're like, she sucks. Anyway.
But you didn't know that each other was into guys?
Not really.
Wow.
Yeah, like it was a total shot in the fucking dark.
Wow.
How's
Pretty
And
What a
bold.
thrill.
Yeah.
And we're still friends today.
Wow.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah,
which
that's
is
sweet.
which is
That's
crazy.
better
Like,
than some other lose your virginity stories.
I like, yeah, I just like I think I actually brought it up to him like not that long ago. I was like, how would you feel if I turned that into a bit?
What did he say?
he's like, yeah, that's fine.
Nice of you to ask first.
Yeah.
It seemed personal. Maybe I should ask about doing it on a podcast, but he said yes.
Well,
It'll be fine.
But like, it's
Yes
just
is a
like,
yes.
it's just such a like.
We're like,
That's
producer,
like-
put his picture up on the YouTube right now.
But it's just like, I don't know how, because again, complete shot in the dark. Like he had, when we became friends, he had a girlfriend and all this stuff. And it was just like, it was like dumb exploration stuff. Like,
Yeah.
you want to watch porn and like slowly
Who
escalating
like
to that.
initiated that? Like, were you guys supposed to be watching like fucking like the Matrix,
I
and then
think
you
it
were
was
like,
at
what
my-
about porn instead?
right,
Just
it was-
kidding.
Jokes.
It was 2008, not 1999. So, so
don't know.
Iron Man, I don't know.
Yeah, I was like,
But
Toy
like, yeah,
Story.
no,
I don't even
mean,
know.
it was at. I want to assume I initiated it. It was at my house.
You were like, I just
Right.
got this new movie, but also.
But, like,
Now, did you guys hook up again, or was that
Yes.
just like?
yeah, because
okay.
like, but at the same time, it was like, okay, we're just gonna hook up with each other because we don't know.
We found this
Yeah.
safe thing.
Yeah, we don't know anyone else. Or how we were gonna go to the bar at fucking 18 and like just
Yeah.
not know
Yeah.
what the fuck
We're gonna
doing.
hone our skills.
Yeah, you can't just like wander out into the big leagues.
So were there?
You gotta
were there?
level up your character first, and then
Okay, first of all, after the first time it happened, did either of you like have a freak out moment?
I can't speak for him, but I didn't. I don't know. See, because like that, I get that because I feel like a lot of people would, but I was mentally just. I was already in like a mental freak out all the time about my
So-
entire life.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it could have happened, and I didn't even fucking know it.
Yeah, you were like, I'm
Yeah.
actually busy with a panic attack about something else, so like,
Yeah,
I don't even have
everything else
time
is
for
bothering
that.
me. At least this felt good.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, that's true. You're like, this is something nice, so. And then
The only way like I started like, and then I started like meeting. I would go to like parties, and then like find the guy that I'm like, that guy is definitely gay, and then try to do a conversation with them,
yeah,
and then see where it goes. And I did better than I ever thought I should have in that realm.
and did
But
you
that
have?
was the only way.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. That would be so hard, and you're like in your hometown, so like you can't even explore like dressing differently or like having like I don't know. I don't.
I dressed the exact same way as I do now.
Yeah,
When I was like 17, 18, that's where it started.
you're like,
it
I
was
have
like,
this shirt from
black
then.
t-shirts. I can't fit in any of those. That was a good 60 pounds ago.
Very tiny man, as we said earlier.
Oh, so small. 150 pounds now, 110 pounds then.
That's like I'll lift 2-pound weights for 10 minutes and I have to like rest, and I feel like 150s are your 2-pound weights. But you don't have to rest.
Yeah. He's holding weights out right now while he
Yeah.
records.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me put those down. Fuck shit. So you're just doing curls, and then I drop it like casually, but it breaks to the floor.
So when you guys were like, once you start hooking up, did either of you like, was there ever any discussion of like, this is a monogamous relationship, or were you guys just both like, this was a thing that we do, and then we just
It was definitely a thing we do, but we're definitely like very close.
yeah,
But I think it's also we also like couldn't process all of that as
Yeah.
well.
Right.
Because at this time I was planning on going away to college and like and all this stuff. So yeah, I remember we talked like constantly. We were all, like we did a lot together. So it was like borderline relationship.
Yeah.
But I mean, until 25, I was like, I ain't doing a relationship. I ain't doing a relationship. I was in the closet, so like that was a big driving force of not of worrying about it. So it was like one of those situations you're like, what are we like?
Yeah, like did you outwardly still have to like both pine for this girl, and then like when you're together,
it was like
it
was like I don't think either of us ever talked about her or to her.
Like we don't even
like,
thank you so much for bringing us together.
Yeah.
Thanks for your service.
So this vagina was the roadway pickup.
Yeah. So then, like, did you guys? I know you didn't say that you were in a relationship together, but was there any? I think what kind of like Laura was probably asking was like, did you guys attempt to date any women while you were hooking up?
No,
Okay.
I didn't. I can't. I don't believe. We did. I mean, for me, it was just like I had no interest. Like dating in general, like I had zero interest in it.
Yeah.
I think for many reasons. Biggest one, just pure insecurity.
Yeah.
Like I just felt like I didn't maybe because also I was like, oh, this is the first person I've actually like had like sex with and then continued to, and like, oh, does it have to be a relationship? Like eventually I was like,
what are the rules?
Yeah.
Like where I was like, I don't know what's happening.
And that's like all the same. I don't even have
movies to look through for this.
Yeah, right. And that's all the same stuff that like everyone goes through. It's just, I think that's why people get like obsessed with like gay marriage and gay this and gay that, and you're like, it's literally just as boring as straight everything. Like
it's like literally like, do we fight about this? Who does this? Like what's like where? Like it's all like the same shit.
Yeah.
And like it's always like, who's the guy, who's the girl? It's
my God, yeah.
That doesn't even count in like straight relationships. It's like, they're just two people. Like
I would always be like, that's the dumbest fucking question. And obviously I'm the guy. But you're stupid. I feel like it is, but there are people that do that with straight relationships where like if a woman dares to like make more money or like be more successful or bossy, they're like, ooh, she wears the pants. So like people are obsessed with the power dynamic of relationships.
I like this is we still have like fucking like like that weird like Neanderthal brain about like hunter gatherer. Like it's like no, like what the it's the dumbest thing. How are you gonna be equal parts? And trust me, you'll be a lot fucking happier.
Yeah,
like,
we're all just swipers. Like no one's doing anything. Like we're all just ordering DoorDash. Like no one, no one's doing any of the things to get the food. Relax.
That's it too. Is like what it has to like dating now compared like when you're you know, I hate the like oh we were kids kind of thing. It's like you didn't have any of that instant, you know. Connection to people with Tinder and all that stuff. Like, I can't even fathom what like dating in high school has to be currently.
What a
like,
fucking
oh my God, did you
nightmare.
Put it on, did you put it on Facebook?
Yeah.
Did you make
promposals?
Yeah.
Like,
oh fuck.
That shit is bananas to me. Like, stop making them into little adults. They have their whole life to be adults.
I have to pay this big elaborate thing, and I if I ever became a celebrity, I would like.
That would be your platform.
I'd want someone to be like, I need this monster to help me with my promposal. And I would just be like, stop investing in this, live your life.
But I'll do it.
Set your cameo price right now. We could have comedian strongman.
Pete
Angelo ruin your proms.
I drive up in a monster truck. I crush a Bud Light on my forehead and I burp real loud and I drive away.
I mean, I'll hire you.
Yeah, that's what if you're like, will you go to the prom with Chad? Then you like smush a beer on your forehead. That's the only proposal I would want to see.
But also, like, we are this weird age where like we lived through, like, I mean, we weren't really dating with like the singles pages or whatever, but like we were around when online dating was looked down upon because it was sketchy and weird.
Yeah.
And oh my God, they met online, and now it's like, oh my God, they met in real life.
Yeah,
like,
you're like, oh, you just talked to her? That's so rude.
Yeah.
And like, like I remember doing like going into like group chat rooms and stuff like that, like AOL, and like, or you play like an online game and then you can like specifically talk to the person you're playing against, but you have no fucking idea because there are no profiles, stuff like that. So it's the first thing is ASL.
Yeah.
Age, sex, location.
Oh yeah, I shudder to think of the chat room boys, and I use those quotation marks, who I lusted after. Whatever I created in my head, I thought they were, and
Or
they might have been.
We were probably talking to the same people.
Yeah, everyone.
Almost certainly.
You guys probably talk to each other.
Imagine. Yeah, it's so weird, and like, go ahead.
Well, everyone also has like, at what age do kids start getting smartphones?
Yeah,
like 12?
People are
9,
giving them.
10?
People are giving them
like,
very young.
And so it's like,
which feels completely unnecessary. Like, there is no reason your child needs to have access to you like 24 hours a day if it means it comes with Instagram, Facebook, and like fucking getting addicted to video games on your phone. Like, that's just complete. They can call you at work. Like, you're fine. They don't need to text you.
Because I legit remember going just to use like AIM. I would go to like the library to talk to people. Or go to group chat and be like, this seems sketchy.
Well, don't you guys...
That was the after school activity. It was like, go to somebody's house who has like
a group
parents
of
at
you
home, so you can go online and then be online talking to whoever until it's dinner time.
And you're also like in the you're in the middle of the living room.
Oh yeah, so trying to do this like your shameful chatting.
Who are you talking to? No one.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Don't you guys feel like now, I think about this a lot in relationships, having that instant access to other people makes it so like dealing with an argument with your partner or dealing with feeling lonely with your partner is like unbearable, because you're like, I could so easily get attention from somewhere else. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like, I think people are like not as willing to work through a normal wavelength of a relationship, because they're just like, I'm not getting exactly what I want all the time. I can just go somewhere else and get it so quick. And
it's
I can't imagine if you're a kid.
As human beings. Especially, I think, because of like everyone in their 30s is like brain is completely warped because of like the rise of the internet came at like these weird, like that specific time for us. And so like we had without it in childhood, but then as we were like hitting puberty,
it grew and, like with us.
It grew with us, and we're just like, oh, this thing fucked me up.
Yeah,
like, I can. It's like this is like something about like the people who helped like pioneer the internet was like, it's gonna bring people together and do information. And then 20 years later, we're like, we fucked up. We weren't ready for this.
They're like, it ruined us.
It fucked us up.
Katie, I tried to accuse my boyfriend of ignoring me, and he was like, Laura, not texting back in 8 minutes is not ignoring you.
Exactly.
I was like, 8. That's almost 10. I could have died.
Josh and I had a morning. Okay, so we woke up. I made breakfast. I think we made breakfast together. And then he was watching like YouTube for like 2 hours or like whatever. He watches like this little guitar show, and he was like putzing around. And then we worked out together, ate lunch together, went to dinner, then hung out by the pool, went to the movies, and then came home. And I was like, man, I can't believe you spent all morning like not talking to me. And I was like, what? And then like I had to reset my brain to be like, that's called a normal day. Like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah,
so
we're all
crazy.
broken people.
That's the thing. Well, so I kind of am the opposite because I run around like a maniac constantly, and I don't know how the fuck Pat puts up with it.
Yeah.
Because he's more, he definitely is more of like, oh, let's do stuff together. I'm like, I'm gonna go do a million fucking things.
You're like, I'm dead right now. I need to just pass out.
Yeah, I pretty much like I'm home, I'm asleep.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, because I just run around and I'm just like, I think that kind of like self-isolation I gave myself in like high school and stuff like that. So now I'm like, I gotta connect with as many fucking human beings as I possibly can.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna meet I'm gonna meet everyone and hear everyone's story. And so like
yeah. That is interesting.
And I don't know what exactly like sparked that in me. But like it's just a lot of people are always like, I just need to have like these close couple of people and no drama. I'm like, fuck it. I want to meet every human being I can. I'm like, even if you could keep the same 10 close people, guess what? They're still going to cause you problems.
Yeah.
You're still going to have drama. So I'm going to go run away to other people.
You know what? Josh is the same. He's like, has that same vibe of like, he's had one friend for like 25 like 30, like I thought I had long friendships. He's had like the same little group of friends, and then he picks up like a couple of close friends at whatever stage of his life, and he's like good. And then I'll like go to a wedding and he's like, Katie, like, oh, you're doing that thing where you make those people be your friend. And I was like, yeah, like I'm just like Peter. I'm like, I like take someone's picture. Like we did a cruise, like this boat ride, and I like took a really cute picture of this couple, and he's like, oh my God, you're gonna do that thing. And I was like, I know. So I like go up to him and I'm like, I took a really cute picture of you guys, and they were like, oh my God, we love it. And Josh is like, and it works every time.
Well, it's like I would go to all these concerts. Like I literally go by myself. By the end, I met like 30 people. Yeah. And like I just see another concert, and this like my friends always yell. Like my friends from high school, whenever they hang out and we go anywhere.
Yeah.
We like legit could be in Boston and I will run into 5 people I know.
Yeah.
So crazy.
And they're like, how the fuck do you do that? I'm like, I don't stop fucking running
Meeting
around
people.
everywhere. And I'm pretty sure that might be the driving force of like getting into comedy for me.
Like connecting
now
with
I'm like,
so many
haha,
people.
you all came to me.
Yeah.
I spent years of my life teaching and performing improv and truly screaming from the mountaintops. Improv is social. It's just teaching social skills. It's teaching people how to talk to people. And I'm like, so what's your fucking problem? And now I'm like, I don't know how to make a friend. Like, I've been to 2 open mics twice each. And today I was like bragging to my roommate. I was like, I think I'm like 1 or 2 weeks away from a friend.
From talking to somebody.
Somebody I saw last time tapped me on the shoulder and said, hey, so I mean,
there's something.
I don't know how to do it anymore. I'm like, I think everyone must think I'm stupid. I'm like, didn't I used to be a confident person? I swear there was confidence there because you walked around like you were hot shit for a minute, and now you walk like you don't know how to walk.
That's like so. Like I got fucked up because like when all the lockdowns happened, Pat was like ready.
Oh,
like,
Josh was so ready.
He was like, I'm gonna do nothing. Like Pat's like, I've been preparing for this day for 25 years.
He's like, I'm ready.
And then I was like, the first weekend, I was like, I don't have anything to do. This is nice.
Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna enjoy and relax. You know, this could be all right. And he was like, 2 weeks, you're gonna lose your fucking mind.
Yeah.
I lost my fucking mind.
Yeah. I did the same thing. I like this summer I ended up like comedy started back at the level that it was previously at. So I had all of those comedy things, but in the meantime, because I was so concerned with like not doing enough, Laura and I started this podcast. I signed up for like a writing class that is like 3 hours long on the night, and then the work is like an additional however many hours. And I was like, Josh was like, why did you do this to yourself? And I'm like, oh, that I booked that in February because one day I didn't have something to do. I was like nervous. I thought, oh, in June I'll be bored.
I did this 21-week virtual sketch writing program, and it was every 3 weeks. It was write, revise, show. And I heard 21 weeks and I was like, what are you doing? That sounds awful. And then at the end, I was like, it was really nice having homework every week.
Oh my God.
I did a little virtual show that 4 people saw.
I saw it.
Thanks, Katie.
That's the thing. Now, like, now having to deal with like actual bookers, and like now I'm at that point where I'm like getting emails from like actual people who like aren't just like the other local shitheads putting on a bar show.
Yeah, which
and
is
I'm
still
like,
nice, but
don't get me wrong, I'm still doing those, but they're a lot easier to deal with than like me just being like, oh God, I gotta not fuck this up.
Yeah. I
was like, oh, did I overbook myself? I just
trying
not to lose my mind.
I texted one of the club bookers and I wrote like, hey, I would love to do to work for you. These are the weekends I'm available. And then I realized I sent like 16 exclamation points. And then I wrote, and I like saw it and I was like, just double down, bitch. And I wrote, I love exclamation points, and like sent more. And I messaged him again today, and we were like laughing about it, and messaged him again today, like asking if I could do a specific weekend, and I put no exclamation points, and he wrote back, sounds great, but what did he say? He was like, totally, I don't respond to texts from you unless there's multiple exclamation points with an exclamation point. And I was trying to play it cool. Like, I don't
Now what you should do is after each word put an exclamation point.
Like, you asked for those.
Yeah.
You opened Pandora's box.
I did write thank you with like 10 of them.
I bought a planner and I was like, this counts as manifesting. Let's
plan shit.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. So Pete, where can people find you?
You can find me on, honestly, the best place would be Instagram at Metal Pete Comedy. And that's usually where I'll post most of the shows I have coming up, as well as you can see me lift a bunch of shit. Because some people seem to like that.
Impressive.
You have been doing like, you were already so busy with stand-up, and then you started like legit training, like a true training regimen that is like hours a day.
I'm an idiot.
Because I did
so
something
stupid.
similar without doing stand-up, so I like understand the fatigue and the time that you put in, and I'm like, I cannot imagine doing that and stand-up. Like, I don't even...
Like, fuck it. Look, basically, so I started doing it when everything shut down, and now everything's been back.
Yeah.
And then I'm like just doing, and then between like working and then playing softball, I was like, what am I doing?
Yeah, like, that's a lot.
It's like, but like, it's fun at least. I've actually learned to enjoy it, and it makes me scarier. Is that good? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Someone told me to stop. Someone told me to stop getting so big.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was like, shit.
You know what? We don't tell people what to do with their bodies.
Yeah.
You do what you want.
Yeah.
Get as big as you want.
They meant it in a good way.
Yeah.
So do I.
They meant big
When I say shut up, I mean it in a good way.
Yeah. Was it that guy from your reunion? Because
no, he just said, kiss me, please.
Yeah. You look too busy. Why don't you take out some of those activities and only make out with me? All right, guys, you know the drill. Follow us, please. Subscribe, review. We're on Pinky Promise Pod everywhere. Leave us those nice feedback. If you see our posts on Reddit, we actually got nice things on Reddit. Like, who knew that was possible? We appreciate, we appreciate it. And we love your feedback, so please keep sending it to us and share this with a friend. If you like this episode, share it with your buddy. If there's a guy that you want to have come out to you from high school, send it to him. You know, this can be a secret message.
Matchmaker.
Yeah, and we will see you guys next week. Bye.